My name is Faizo Kiwewa. I am the founder and the artistic director of Baimba. Welcome to this year's edition of Doadoa 2021. As you're all aware, we skipped our 8th edition to the 9th. Don't blame us. The world did skip a year, and so did we. Since 2008, we have organized festivals, trained stakeholders, and championed a performing arts market that has helped local artists to level with the rest of the world and the region. That's how Baimba has contributed to the vibrant arts sector in Uganda. This edition of Doadoa is thought to be a special one, quite different from the previous years. We are running it for 3 months, from May to July. Once a week, we'll host a speaker and one artist for 30 minutes. We are going to learn everything we can about them. Curated to give a glimpse of the performing arts industry, starting from right here, the future space for the Baimba Center for Visual and Performing Arts on Lunkulo Island, to the Reykjavik Opera House in Iceland, India, Chile, USA, and South Africa. We are going to meet virtually with our friends, some of the most amazing game changers from around the world. They are going to tell us about their spaces, their initiatives, the opportunities, and the possibilities. We thought this edition of Doadoa would take us around the world, and we think we owe our audience what others have got to offer, and hopefully they could be inspired. I'm very grateful to introduce you to our speakers. This edition of Doadoa has been really getting to know our speakers, and we took it to be a personal invitation. And I would like to introduce you to Mr. Amitabha from India.
Namaskar. My name is Amitabha Bhattacharya. I'm in Calcutta, India. A social entrepreneur, 31 years of experience. Education-wise, an engineer, passed out of IIT Kharagpur, and Gurukul Chevening scholar from London School of Economics. 10 years I was in software, returned from Silicon Valley, US in 99, and then started banglanatak.com, social enterprise focusing on culture and development. How the rural traditional culture can alleviate people out of poverty, how it can move towards an inclusive development. And slowly, with time, in 20 years, what we see is that when pride and recognition returns, and when the socio-economic gain happens in traditional artistic communities, then they come forward, participate in development, and the village, the artist, and the art form get vibrant. The art form gets safeguarded. The artists are on their own, and overall, it's really a holistic development. With this background, let me go through a brief journey with you. I'll start with North Bengal and then come to the South Bengal. The city of Kolkata, which was the capital in the British days, but now capital of West Bengal. And as you know a little bit of history, that in 1947, when India got independence, that time, in the name of religion, India and Pakistan two countries were born. Pakistan was born and Pakistan got separated from India. And that time, two states which were divided, one is West Bengal, Bangladesh, which is Bangladesh was part of Pakistan, used to be known as East Pakistan and then became Bangladesh in 1971. And another state which got impacted is Punjab. But coming to Bengal, we share many of the cultures, the language with Bangladesh because it's our neighboring space. We were together, but now we are separated. Starting North Bengal, we get Bhawaiya, the music of North Bengal. It's a wonderful music. It's a music of daily lifestyle. It's a music talking about the essence of daily life. When husbands go out to work, women wait anxiously when their husbands are coming back, when they're returning. When there is flood, what is the disaster? What is the trauma people go through? All these are part of Bhawaiya. There are almost 4,000 practicing Bhawaiya singers in Alipurduar, Jalpaiguri, Kuch Bihar districts. These are all, you can say, forest fringe areas and called duars. We have duars and hills in North Bengal. Coming to hills, Darjeeling, Kalimpong, these are basically the Himalayas foothills, and there are 16 communities, the indigenous communities which have their own traditional art and culture, and they have their lovely music too, and the indigenous instruments and everything. When we come to middle of Bengal, we see the music has changed. There, the primary music we see the baul music. The bauls of Bengal, one can say, is the soul of Bengal. Now, bauls basically, unlike other folk music, baul is not a lifestyle music. It is a music with philosophy. It is not a religious music, but it is a spiritual music. It talks about crossing the barrier. It talks about no barrier of religion, no barrier of caste, class. It talks about respect other opinion, include all, and it's a music of brotherhood. To me, it is a music of democracy, it is a music of socialism, and music of mankind, celebrating the pluralism and cultural diversity. There are almost 2,300 practicing bauls in 5 districts of Bengal, in the middle of Bengal: Nadia, Murshidabad, Birbhum, Bardhaman, and Bankura. If I come to south of Bengal, we see Bhatiali, the music of river, music of boating. And there, again, it's a lifestyle music. Your boat travels, you don't know when they will come back. The enjoyment and the turmoil with the nature. And that is exactly the Bhatiali music. There are almost about 100 Bhatiali singers. With the motorized boat, now you don't get to hear that music in the boat anymore. But the community still practices, enjoys, and leaves it at its leisure time. Coming to the west of West Bengal, which is primarily again a forest fringe areas and also the indigenous people again, the Santals and other indigenous people. There you get to see the Jhumur, the music, the song and dance. And also it's used to be known as Chotanagpur plateau. And also we see the Chow dance, the mass dance. In 2011, UNESCO accredited that with the Masterpiece Heritage of the World. So, and even Baul got it in 2008. It was a shared heritage between Bangladesh and India. More or less, one can actually talk about these are the musical. And from the handicraft side and the other culture side, I'll say Dokra, which is the metal. That's a very traditional space that few artists, they live in Barduma and Bankura. That's one of the primary one. Patachitra, the scroll painters, they still use natural color. That's the beauty. There were 8 artists in 2004. Now there are 352 artists. I think that's something is very essential to understand that this is... Now, what is our initiative? Our initiative, as I said, that we are primarily focused on how to save these traditional art forms, but saving is not by us, rather by the community. So that means how to empower these communities to come forward with their traditional art and culture. And when we do that, so what we do? When we go to a community, we try to build their capacity, we link them directly to the market. Directly, it is a very important word, so that there is no one in between. And then thirdly, we do a lot of exchange collaboration, and then we plant a village festival in their villages, celebrating their art and culture, and it should be calendarized. And that's how since 2004 we started working, but the village festivals we started planting in 2010. And till 2020 February, we did all the things. Then onwards, the Corona situation took over worldwide, so we couldn't host that. Now, these are, you can say, the more or less the significance, and is that these are significant art forms. And instrument-wise, Dotara is a very, very important instrument in Bengal. Of course, we have the bamboo flute and the dhol, and the city of Calcutta, which got influenced by all the music and everything, and also the Tagore's songs are a big part, because Rabindranath Tagore, the first non-European Nobel laureate, is part and parcel of our culture, and his influence on our part is quite noteworthy, really. It's a place, Kolkata is a place of culture, including music, poetry, film, everything, and we really appreciate the contribution of those people in our life. Calcutta is a very socialist in nature. Bengal overall, it's a very left orientation, and because of again our history, Chaitanya in the Bhakti Cult movement, he talked about remove the caste religion, rather come forward. It's again from where Baul got influenced. So it's a very orientation is a little different than other parts of I'll say India. And one very important part, I will say, the collaboration. Because that's really, because historically, when Gandhiji in India spoke about nationalism, Rabindranath Tagore talked about universalism. So that theory actually influenced Bengalis, Calcuttans very well. So we, following the path of that, we believe in universalism. So since 2009, we have been hosting collaborations, and we invite international musicians, artists, designers, and to work with we host the local part, and they do come. I think more than 300 artists have, a little more than that, because we have been hosting our flagship festival, Sur Jahan, since 2011. So 10 years, and this 10 years, 5 to 6 bands each. So overall, I think we brought, other than Sur Jahan, we did a lot of collaborations. So maybe 355 to 400 artists have come. Even our artists have traveled abroad. I want to request all the listeners that please do take this as a very important opportunity. Come to India. We work primarily in West Bengal, Western Rajasthan, the desert, where there are beautiful musicians and art forms, traditional art forms, and come to Goa. So these 3 places will be happy to host collaborations, and I'm confident if you come, we will be good hosts. You will be enjoying collaborating with our artists, and he will be creating a new relationship, which I'm sure where you will learn, they will learn, and both of you will co-create, and rights will remain with both of you, and we can be a very positive catalyst in ensuring that. So with this small note, my urge, my request to all of you, invitation to all of you, that please do keep in touch and check our sites. We give always the calls: www.banglanatak.com, www.bncmusical.co.in. Now there are many sites, but these two will be helpful. And come forward, stay with us, meet the other traditional masters, interact with them, learn new things, co-create, enjoy India's warmth, India's creativity. And I'm sure that is going to be a good way forward. And we want to learn from you too. That's a very, very important part. And one more thing is that our festival, which after 2020 February we could not hold. Let's hope that once COVID goes away, we will be able to revive that. Now, the unique part of our organization, we have never taken donation in 21 years, and so we are not driven by any agenda. The agenda is created by us. An entrepreneur or any business makes the profit if they can, and takes the profit to the owners. A social enterprise does the profit, if possible, and then shares it with the communities. And that's a very important definition and participative approach that we have. Music is our passion, because we feel that with creativity, innovation, and music, we will be helping, we will be working, we will be together, we shall overcome, and we can be part of a much more peaceful world than we are in today. It is a journey not of mine, it is a journey of ours. And I invite to be a part of this journey. Thank you.
As you've heard from our speaker, I would now like to introduce you to the Artist of the Week. This year, we'd really try to focus on getting to know the artist. And I would like to introduce you this week the Entenga musical drums from the Central Buganda.
My name is James Isabiri. I am a doctor of music education. I graduated in April 2019 in a doctor of music education at Oakland University, Rochester, Michigan, in the United States. And Entenga music is actually publicly known to be royal music that is performed in the palace and for the Kabaka, or if you might wish, king of Buganda Kingdom.
Amanya gange zedi Livingstone musisi mukalazi. Mukalazi lyakika musisi banzala musisi ayita. Ngombe eyo Entenga eyo yajja ne Kabaka Kyabaggu ng'ava Essese. Kwagamba waliwo abazimukubira ng'ali Ssese. Nazimunyumira najja nazo mu Buganda.
My full name is Professor Sempeke John. When I start talking about music, I don't want to stop because it has made me who I am. I started playing music when I was 9 years old because my dad and had a group, and the group is still existing. It's called Aboluganda Kwagalana, which he started in 1945, and up to today, I'm still learning it, although he passed away.
As a student of music when I was growing up, I read about it. And I was interested to know what it is. Then at one point I saw in a book that was written by Edward Galazimukasa, Anthology of Ugandan Musical Instruments, and I found a picture of a line of drums with the people holding the sticks that are carved, and that I had never seen in Busoga. So I thought I should listen to this music somehow.
Ngoma ezo ndi musiige mu lubiri lwa Ssaabasajja Kabaka. Nasiigibwa mu mwaka gwa 58 mu lubiri ebaamunaanika. Kati entenga ezo zaaliyo, kati baazikubanga ne zinnyumira. Njagala okugenda abazikuba ndabe bwe bakuba. Naga kinyeganyege ne kinkwata ng'omwana ne njigirawo.
They are royal 12-tuned drums plus 3 of them, which makes them 15. They are played rarely in the palace, and especially for the king. Once you hear Ntenga playing, then the king is in the palace.
My dialect alone connects me to these drums and forces me to find out more about them. Could they be connected to my own, heritage, to my ethnic society? And in the process of working with Musisi, he actually kept on insisting that Ntenga came from Busoga. It was brought by one of the early kings of Buganda.
Engoma ezo buli kika mu lubiri kirimu engoma zikikuba. Abakondeere abaki kati ekika ekyo kya Lugave. Ab'Olugave be bannannyini engoma ezo. Be bakuba engoma ezo nga mujaguzo biki. Era Kawuula yatwala engoma ezo mujaguzo, Entenga, byonna yabizingiramu. Za buwangwa.
I contacted a friend who happens to be a director of Bayimba. He's called Faizo Chiwewa. Those of us who might know him. I said, he actually talked to me that, James, I'm having an event of Doadoa, which I had, known of even years before. And I said, yes, talk about Doadoa. I have something that would be exciting. We have revived the King's Ntenga music, but I doubt that I even have a chance to meet the king. First of all, I'm from Busoga. How do I go through the processes? And I'm a teacher. Really, I'm focused on this music more than I'm focused on other big things, including the politics of our cultures and our nation and things like that. I want to be a simple citizen who is free to do my things. And so he was so receptive, and we walked through the budget and said, I will give the money. It was a bit high from my thinking. And so they came out to perform at Doadoa in the National Theatre. They were actually playing opening act of the Doadoa event. And so somehow this made it known that actually there are some Ntenga players. Following that Doadoa event, there was a coronation ceremony for the king. And some Baganda leaders, Baganda kingdom leaders said, by the way, there were Ntenga performers in Doadoa. We have to find them.
Each tribe has got its own culture. And so these are for, Buganda. And we are related a little bit with Basoga.
The king actually recognized that the Ntenga playing that he was looking at was much the same as the Ntenga playing he had seen played in the palace for when his father was the king. He actually said, I want to thank the Ntenga players because they played the music in exactly the same way as those Ntenga players who played in the palace those days.
Ekivuga ekyo kyekusifu mu lubiri lwa Kabaka yakitumyanga nekimuvugira ng'ennaku emukutte oba nga ayagala okusanyuka nagamba nkubira engoma tenga. Nakutera ebivuga birala naye ng'ekyo kyokka kyekyekusifu kyeringa n'ammanju watwekobe.
Going back to look at this music and what makes it really unique, for me it is the interlockingness of these skins. And by the way, when it plays and you're very near, you may not really feel the beauty of the music. You have to stand a distance away and you hear it like you're listening to something on a hill, and then you say, wow, this is amazing.
Most of the royal musical instruments are perishing. I wouldn't like to die before these are being implemented back in the palace, because the ntenga should be in the palace and should be there. We are going, but the problem.com is causing a lot of problems, you know. When you tell someone, can you play, they say, no, I cannot play the big, instead of calling them drums, they say, I don't want to play the bigoma.
This music has cultural significance in Uganda, and for me that is the starting point. I really needed to respect the context, the cultural context in which this music was birthed. So in revitalizing this music expression, the intention is not to sell it to the world as me. But I have had challenges with the young people who learned the music. One of them actually said one day, but I am the music. So, why did he say that? He said it because I was trying to suggest that we keep within the confines of the cultural institutions that claim responsibility of this expression. My argument has and still continues to be that the kingdom is interested in this cultural expression, and I really needed to respect the kingdom.
I'm a believer. So wherever I go, I worship, okay? You know, I'm happy, like my brother Kabuza. You know, if you find us playing the spiritual songs on a xylophone, if you are tempted, you can worship on a xylophone. Not only me, with friends like Okirol and, we got our queer name, which we call ourselves, but I won't say it. But it was jokingly, when we say, come on, Mr. Let's pray, and then we kick it off.
Cultures don't die sometimes. They can only be held a little bit, but as long as they are spirit, they find their way back into the domain of existence. I think I would like to continue my contribution to the heritage of this world. The diversity of mankind is the beauty of this planet. And in my view, if the different cultural expressions are given a vent to exist within their power and into the public domain, I think we have a better world. We have a world where we understand one another. It is these differences which help us to see who we are. And it is the same differences which help us to resolve and come to an understanding.
I'm happy because I invented something which took a long time. You know, when presidents or whatever other people comes, they think when we talk of gun salutes. But for us, I invented something called the drum salute for the king. You know, on every year which he adds up when he's still alive, that's the rhythm we play. Because last time was 27 years, and we banged 27 drum salute.
My name is James Isabire. I would like to invite all of you in every corner of the world to come and enjoy Ntenga music of the Baganda people during this Doadoa 2021.
Thank you so much for joining this week's show, Doadoa 2021. I hope you had some fun and got some inspiration. If you have any comment, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave your comment, or our Facebook page, Twitter or Instagram. We'll definitely get back to you. We are very grateful, and until next week, I remain your host, Faizo Kiwewa from Bayimba and the Doadoa team. Keep it Doadoa 2021.